Hey, and welcome to day 8 of Venom here at the Messy Bookshelf. I'm Jennifer, and today I have a book tag for you. Today's book tag I've seen on a couple other channels. I will link them down below where you can check those out, including the original channel that created this tag. I don't remember them at the time, but as I said, they'll be down in the description box. So today's tag is the first date book tag. These are different types of first dates that you can have, and the books that would coincide with that type of date. The awkward first date. So this is a date with a book that felt kind of off. It's not that the book wasn't good, it just didn't have that spark that you were hoping for. For this, I went on a date with The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. A lot of people really like this book. Some people are with me and say that it was a little bit lackluster. The cheap first date. So this was a date with a book that turned out less than you expected. For this one, I went with The Rules by Nancy Holder and Debbie Vigue. I've talked about this book quite a lot on this channel about how much I was disappointed by this. I had such high hopes because it sounded amazing and this cover is actually really nice, but it just did not work out, unfortunately. Yes. The Well-Prepared First Date. So this is a book that went a little better than expected, and for this one I went with The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. I really enjoyed this book, and I went into it kind of lackluster about it, so the fact that it went a lot better than expected makes it a well-prepared first date. Hot but Dumb First Date. This is a book that was really pretty on the outside but had nothing on the inside. For this one, I chose 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This beautiful cover drew me in so much that I was so disappointed when I started reading and was disappointed. I didn't even finish the book. The Blind First Date. This is a date with a book that you win knowing nothing about. For this one, I chose Optimus Must Die by Susan Nielsen. I went into this book knowing nothing, and then halfway through decided to look at the synopsis and figure out what I was reading because I was loving it so much. This book was so good, and it made me realize that I really should be going into books not knowing anything about them more often. Speed dating. This is a date with a book that you went on that you read really quickly. And for me, this was If I Stay by Gail Forman. I started this book at about 10 o'clock at night and I could not stop until it was finished at about 1 or 2. So I read this one fairly quickly. The next is The Rebound Date. This is a book that you read too soon after a book hangover, and it kind of ruined the book for you. I don't really have an answer for this one because I usually find that if I'm in a book hangover, I'll end up being in a slump and I'll have a hard time getting through books. So I don't find that it ruins a book in particular. It ends up ruining the entire reading experience. So I don't really have a book for this one. The Overly Enthusiastic First Date. For me, I chose Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. This book had a lot of hype behind it. Not even really hype, it had publisher and bookstore hype because they were really pushing this book at work, and the whole time I just kept thinking this is gonna backfire because of all of the issues that was going on with the book about racism and glorifying suicide and all this other kinds of stuff. And I read the book, and although I didn't enjoy it, it wasn't necessarily because it was racist or anything like that. I didn't enjoy it because it just felt like Divergent in space, and it just wasn't for me. Perfect first date. This is a date with a book that did everything right. And for me, this book was On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher. This book was a gem to read. I absolutely loved it. It was like watching a Disney movie, but you were reading it, and it wasn't about a princess, it was about an older woman. It's just amazing, and it's so sad that it's not like officially released in America and you have to go through the UK to get it to get a physical copy, because this book is just gorgeous. Like, look at the end papers, and then like you take the dust jacket off and it's perfect. Like, practically perfect in every way. Last date is The Humiliating Date, and this is a book that you would rather not go out in public while reading because you're embarrassed about liking this book or reading this book. And for me, I chose Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham gets a lot of hate because of some things that she has written about in this book, and although I don't agree with it entirely, I do have a special part I do really like Lena Dunham to an extent. I like some of the things that she stands for and some of the things that she does, and I really liked her show Girls. So yeah, she's different, but she does get a lot of hate. And that is it for the first date book tag. Let me know down below what books you would choose for any of these dates, or if you have done this tag, or if you're going to do this tag, let me know so I can check it out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I will see you tomorrow for day 9 of Venom. Bye!